If you are seeing this, you did it. You just walked through, I want to say it was like a portal to a higher timeline, it feels like. The vision that they gave me was someone who was, before you were like searching through a bunch of keys to kind of figure out how to open this massive set of doors that was in front of you, right? It's like one of those huge wooden double doors. And you were searching, you were trying, nothing was working. And you stood there for a while and it was just quiet. And then you just finally, you took both of your hands, you held on to the door handles, and all of a sudden it was like you could hear things unlocking. And you opened it up, and there's just this beautiful, bright, white, shimmery light that you stepped into. And so to me, what that means is that the key was always you. You had to do some inner work. There was something that you had to learn about yourself, just to kind of, or maybe heal within yourself, to be able to access that higher timeline. Like there's something you needed to go through. And before, you were always searching outside of yourself because you were going through all those keys. And this was like a massive ring of keys. I mean, it was like huge. Okay. Um, and just set off to the side in like a separate bowl. So you were always searching, 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 trying different things, and it just wasn't working. And eventually you got quiet because I said, you stood there in front of the door and it was silence, it was quiet. And then all of a sudden you just looked up and you were like, all right, let's go. So for me, what that means is that you were quiet, you went inward a bit. You may have been in a period of solitude, and that's kind of how you were able to do a little more introspective work. You were really digging deep to figure out what was going on with you, why you were making the decisions you were making, why you chose the path that you did, if it was still the right path for you. There was a lot of thought and effort that went into this, into figuring out where you were, why you were there, and where you wanted to go. And so as you did that healing work, you figured it out. Like you unlocked the doors just by holding it. It was just your two hands, you put it on. And I guess also your energy, because it's just like it felt like you were ready all of a sudden when you held on to those doors, right? You did that work, you held on, you were like, I know I got this. And you opened it. You weren't looking back, you weren't looking into that bowl, with that ring of keys anymore. You just stepped into it. So you stepped into the light in a way. So good for you, because it's not easy. It's not easy to do that, that work. No one wants, I shouldn't say no one wants to. Not many people want to do it. It is difficult. It's difficult to take accountability for your actions. It's difficult to face certain fears, certain traumas, certain, incidences and events that have gone on in your life. And, sometimes there's a part, I'm just seeing like a timeline, and there's like a split. A timeline is, one of those historical timelines with the years notched along the way. And there's a split. So there's like the before, when you weren't healed, you were more reactive, instead of thinking about how you want to handle situations. You just instantly did what you wanted to do. And then there may have been like a little bit of rage and regret involved, because that feels heavier. And then there's this much lighter timeline over here, which is the after you did the work. You're not triggered by certain things anymore because you figured out why you were reacting the way you were. Um, it's not easy work. Okay, so good for you. You did it. um, they're not giving me any other visions. So I don't know. I don't really feel called to pick any of the cards though. Maybe this is just meant to be a short message, like a short confirmation, that you did it. You're now stepping into your higher timeline. And okay. Um, so I just heard like be prepared for the change. So be prepared for the change that you asked for. Maybe you said you wanted to, I don't know, approach life differently. You wanted a change in career. You didn't feel fulfilled, or you specifically asked, what is my purpose? Because they're showing me that purpose card with the turtle. It's in this deck, the little guide deck. Do you have it here? No, it's not in the back. Okay. But they're showing me that card. So you may have asked. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Be careful what you wish for, but not in a negative way. It's just when things start getting rearranged for you, things start crumbling. The Tower card, that foundation, right? That old foundation starts to crumble because it just wasn't stable. You weren't fulfilled, you weren't satisfied, or it doesn't serve you anymore. Now you're moving into a higher timeline where you have different goals that you need to meet, that your soul wants to achieve. You feel like you have a different purpose. That's what's coming through, a different purpose. So as you walk through those doors, just know that there are things from the past that are just going to start to shed, because now they're showing me, molting, a snake that's molting its skin. Is molting the right word? Molting is for birds. What do snakes do? They shed. Okay. I think it's shedding. Maybe it's shedding. Let me know. But they're showing me that. So you are undergoing like this transformation, and things will fall away. Be prepared for that. People will start to fall away, either because of maybe like a little conflict, or just because your energies don't match. It's like they're showing me that, magnets, when they repel, it just, you're just going in different directions altogether. So you might lose some people from your life that you were just used to them being there. It's not always conflict. Sometimes it's just vibes. Like it's just that frequency. You're not on the same level anymore. It doesn't make you better than them. It doesn't make them worse than you or better than you. Okay. Everyone just goes on different paths and different journeys. Okay. It's not about being better or worse than anyone. But yeah, so things are really going to start to change, and it because it was just comfortable before. Because seeing like that, like a bowl of soup, it's comfort. It felt like home. It felt like home for so long, but now it doesn't match with where you're going with what your soul wants to achieve. Okay. Um, yeah. So just be prepared for the change. Know that everything that is happening is for your benefit. So it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You might go back and forth. It's hard to accept it. It's like, especially when you're in the moment of things just dramatically changing, it can be difficult to understand. You might sit there and go, why is this happening? You have to remind yourself you did ask to kind of, you did ask your team of light to intervene and to help you get to that higher timeline, to help you find your purpose, to help you find something that was more fulfilling. And so that's what they're doing. If something needs to be shed, if something needs to be moved away and, taken off your path, they showed me a toddler just whacking a row of blocks. Like, yeah, it's gone. Okay. Um, no, that was cute. As in, it was a cute way to put something dramatic. All right. Oh, you know what? I think that's because you shouldn't fear it. It's just as simple as, all right, it doesn't belong. Boop, out of your way. Move it. It's not that you have to be afraid of the change that's going to take place. It's going to feel different. And sometimes when you've been, in that place that felt like home for so long, but you have outgrown it, in the back of your mind that you need to move on past this, but you just can't do it because it's comfort. It's familiar. But the familiar isn't always going to lead you to your higher purpose, to that higher timeline that you asked your guides to intervene on your behalf to help you get you there, right? Um, so just be ready. But again, know that it's happening for you and not to you. Remind yourself of that. Maybe write that down somewhere so that you can, somewhere you usually look, set an alarm if you have to. I don't know. Um, just to remind yourself that this is happening for my benefit. And this way, they're showing me like the higher vibrations. I don't know if you've ever seen that cone. Look it up. I'm telling you to look it up. I don't even know that. um, yeah, frequency, maybe look up spiritual frequency, because they're showing me that cone. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like the lower frequencies. They know, the hertz and then also the label that goes with it. And what they're bringing my focus on, like the light is on the higher frequency. So when you accept that it's happening for you, you stay up here. When you fall into, this is only when I'm recording. So someone's finding their voice. Bravo. That's also not easy to do, especially if you've been a people pleaser for so long. Yeah, good for you. And stay strong in it, okay? It doesn't mean you have to be nasty or rude. There's always um, a way to say things or a way to handle situations with tact. But yeah, stand up for yourself, okay? That just came through. What was I talking about? The frequency cone. Yeah, so when you accept that it's happening for you, you stay up a little higher, versus when you get into that woe is me kind of, this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? You end up dropping your frequency. And we do go through that. It's that emotional roller coaster that we all sense. It happens. Just don't sit in there too long. You're not going to like throw yourself off the path if just for a couple of minutes, in a day, you kind of go into, oh my God, what is happening? I don't understand. No, you're not going to like undo all of the hard work that you put into progressing. It's just snap out of it. Like keep moving. Remind yourself that, wait a minute, okay, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. This is for my benefit. I asked for this. I want to live a more fulfilling life. I want to live a more purposeful life. I want to have a positive impact on people's lives. What I was doing before just wasn't cutting it anymore. It served its purpose. It was in your life for a reason. You definitely, anything that happens to you, you learn from it, okay? There is something to gain from it. Whether it's from the incident itself or from the healing process, there's something to strengthen you, to make you stronger in order to, I just said the same thing. Why did that happen? Strengthen you and make you stronger. Okay. Um, anyway, I guess to fortify you so that you feel like you can take the necessary steps or to move forward on your journey. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, because I really don't feel called to pull any cards to clarify anything. I think this was just a congratulations. Um, you figured out that it was in you, that you were the key to opening this pathway to the new portal. You asked your guides for help. You listened. You did whatever work that you needed to do, the healing work. The introspection that needed to be done was done. And so now you're moving forward on a path that's going to take you to different levels. And just be prepared for the change that's going to come with that. Okay? It's inevitable. What is that saying? Change is the only constant in life. It really is, right? No day is ever exactly the same. That's all. All right. Let me know if this resonates. Leave me a like, a comment if you feel inclined. And whenever you see this, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful night. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.